What if I told you that buying vegetable seeds every single year is completely unnecessary? Imagine planting something once, then walking into your garden 5, 10, even 20 years later and still harvesting fresh food without ever replanting. That's not fantasy. That's exactly how perennial vegetables work. These are plants that behave like fruit trees, coming back year after year, getting bigger, more productive, and more generous with every season. Most gardeners have no idea these even exist. Today, I'm revealing 20 perennial vegetables that will transform your garden into a permanent food forest. Number 17 is so productive that one plant can feed an entire family for decades, and it costs less than $5 to start. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll never look at gardening the same way again. Hello, garden lovers. Welcome back to Timeless Gardens, where we grow abundance without the price tag. If you're new here, welcome to a community that believes everyone deserves access to fresh food, regardless of budget or experience. We share real, practical advice that works in actual gardens. To my loyal subscribers, thank you for being here week after week. Your success stories fuel everything we create. You're not just viewers, you're family. Before we dive in, help me spread this message. If you find value here, smash that like button. It costs you nothing, but helps thousands of other gardeners discover perennial vegetables. And if you haven't subscribed, click that button right now and turn on notifications. We post budget-friendly gardening wisdom every week that could save you hundreds of dollars. All right, let's talk about these incredible plants that you plant once and eat forever. Here's the financial reality that nobody talks about. The average gardener spends $50 to $100 per year on seeds and transplants. Over 20 years, that's $1,000 to $2,000. But perennial vegetables? You plant them once. Maybe you spend $5 to $15 per plant, and they produce for decades. The math is staggering. Plus, these plants require less work than annuals because their root systems are established and deep. They're more drought-tolerant, more pest-resistant, and they improve your soil year after year. This is smart gardening. Let's get into these 20 game changers. Number 1, asparagus. This is the king of perennial vegetables. Plant asparagus crowns once, and you'll harvest spears every spring for 15 to 30 years. Each crown costs about $3, and one plant produces half a pound of asparagus per year once established. Do the math on organic asparagus prices at the store, and you'll realize one bed pays for itself 100 times over. Number 2, rhubarb. Rhubarb is practically indestructible. Plant one crown, and it'll outlive you. I'm serious. There are rhubarb plants still producing that were planted in the 1800s. The tart stalks are perfect for pies and jams, and each plant gets more productive every year. One plant costs $5 and produces 10 to 15 pounds of stalks annually. Number 3, artichokes. In mild climates, artichokes are magnificent perennials. Each plant produces 15 to 20 artichokes per year, and they keep producing for 5 to 10 years. The plants are also gorgeous, with silvery foliage that looks ornamental even when not producing. Number 4, walking onions. These strange onions produce bulbils at the top of their stalks that eventually get heavy enough to bend over and replant themselves. They literally walk around your garden, spreading and multiplying without any help from you. Free onions forever. Number 5, sorrel. This lemony leaf green comes back every spring and produces abundant leaves all season. One plant is enough for most families, and it'll keep producing for 5 to 10 years. Use the leaves like spinach with a citrus kick. Number 6, horseradish. Plant one root, and you'll never buy horseradish again. This plant is so vigorous that most people worry about it spreading too much, not too little. Harvest the roots whenever you need fresh horseradish sauce. The plant regenerates from any root pieces left in the ground. Number 7, Jerusalem artichokes. Also called sunchokes. These produce edible tubers underground and sunflower-like blooms above ground. Plant them once, and they'll spread and produce tubers every fall indefinitely. They're incredibly low maintenance and can handle poor soil. Number 8, sea kale. This coastal plant produces tender shoots in spring that tastes like a cross between asparagus and broccoli. It's salt-tolerant, drought-tolerant, and produces for decades. Plus, the leaves are beautiful and architectural. Number 9. Good King Henry. This old-fashioned perennial green has been grown for centuries in Europe. The young leaves are used like spinach, and the flower shoots are prepared like asparagus. One plant produces for 8 to 10 years with zero maintenance. Number 10. Turkish Rocket. This perennial green produces abundant leaves that have a nutty, slightly spicy flavor. It thrives in partial shade and keeps producing leaves from early spring through late fall. Established plants are nearly indestructible. Number 11. Lovage. This celery-flavored herb grows into a massive plant that produces abundant leaves, stems, and seeds that all taste like intense celery. One plant is enough for most families and will produce for 20 years or more. Use it in soups, stews, and anywhere you'd use celery. Number 12. Chives. Both regular chives and garlic chives are perennials that come back stronger every year. They multiply and can be divided to create more plants. The flowers are edible and beautiful. Plant once, and you'll have chives forever. Number 13. Egyptian walking onions. Similar to walking onions, but with a different growth habit. These produce clusters of small onions at the top of stalks, and both the bulbs and the greens are edible. They self-perpetuate indefinitely. Number 14. Radicchio. Many radicchio varieties are actually perennials that produce beautiful red and white heads year after year. They're cold-hardy and incredibly productive once established. Number 15. Watercress. If you have a consistently moist area or a small water feature, watercress will establish itself and produce peppery greens indefinitely. It spreads and self-sows, creating more plants every year without any effort from you. We're 3/4 through, and I need to know, how many of these perennial vegetables did you already know about? Are you growing any of them? Drop a comment and let me know. And if this is blowing your mind right now, hit that like button. It helps more gardeners discover this information. We're building something amazing here together. Now let's finish with the last 5 vegetables, including that incredibly productive one I mentioned at the beginning. Number 16. Caucasian spinach. This climbing perennial green produces abundant leaves from spring through fall. It climbs like a vine, so it's perfect for vertical gardening in small spaces. The leaves taste like a mild spinach, and one plant produces prolifically for years. Number 17. Dobbiton's kale. Here's the one I teased earlier. This perennial kale doesn't produce seeds, so it never bolts. Instead, it keeps producing tender leaves year after year. One plant can spread to 5 feet wide and produce enough kale to feed a family continuously. I've seen 20-year-old plants still producing abundantly. This might be the most cost-effective food plant you can grow. Number 18. 9-star perennial broccoli. This plant produces small broccoli heads every year for 5 to 10 years. Each plant produces 9 or more heads per season, and unlike annual broccoli, you don't have to replant every year. It's a game changer for broccoli lovers. Number 19. Babington's leek. This perennial leek produces edible stems like regular leeks, but comes back every year and multiplies. The bulbils can be eaten, planted, or left to create more plants. It's a permanent leek patch that keeps expanding. Number 20. Wild garlic. Also called ramps, this woodland plant produces both edible leaves and small bulbs. It spreads slowly in shady areas where most vegetables won't grow. Once established, it produces every spring without any care whatsoever. Here's what makes perennial vegetables revolutionary. First, the financial savings are massive. You invest once, harvest for decades. Second, they require less work because their root systems are established. Less watering, less fertilizing, less babying. Third, they improve your soil over time instead of depleting it. Their deep roots bring up nutrients from subsoil and add organic matter when they die back each year. Fourth, they're more resilient. Established perennials handle drought, pests, and diseases better than annuals. Fifth, they give you early harvests. While you're waiting for annual vegetables to grow from seed, your perennials are already producing. The strategy is simple. Start with a few perennials this year. Add more next year. Within 5 years, you'll have a permanent food forest that produces abundant harvests with minimal input. This is the ultimate lazy gardening that's actually incredibly productive. So where do you start? Choose 3 to 5 perennials from this list that excite you. Research your hardiness zone to make sure they'll survive your winters. Most of these handle zones 3 through 9, but check specifics. Purchase plants or roots from reputable nurseries or online suppliers. Spring and fall are ideal planting times for most perennials. Prepare your soil well at planting because these plants will be there for years. Add compost, make sure drainage is good, and give them room to grow. Be patient the first year. There's an old saying about perennials. First year they sleep, second year they creep, third year they leap. Most perennials focus on root development their first year, then take off in subsequent years. Don't harvest heavily the first year. Let them establish. And here's the beautiful part. Many perennials can be divided and shared. That $5 plant can become 10 plants in a few years, which you can spread around your garden or share with friends and neighbors. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 20 perennial vegetables are you going to try first? What's holding you back from planting perennials? Share your thoughts in the comments. This community thrives on shared knowledge. If this video changed how you think about gardening, please hit that like button and share this with a gardening friend. They need to know about perennial vegetables too. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Timeless Gardens right now and turn on notifications. We're covering everything from perennial food forests to budget seed starting, all with practical advice that actually works. Don't miss out. Remember, the best time to plant perennial vegetables was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Every perennial you plant now is an investment that will feed you and your family for decades. That's the power of thinking like nature instead of fighting against it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next week, keep growing, keep learning, and keep building that permanent food paradise. This is Timeless Gardens, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy planting!